My name is Dr. Lupita Fabregas. I work for the University of California, Division of Agriculture and Natural Resources. I'm the Assistant Director for Diversity and Expansion in 4-H. My main responsibility is to bring diversity to the 4-H programs in the state of California. My research area is intercultural competence as the ability to work with people from other cultures. I'm focused in trying to develop models that can bring diversity to the cooperative extension. The United States is a nation of immigrants, but now, more than ever, the demographic of our country is changing. By the year 2050, the United States will look different from that of today. Whites will not longer be a majority. The U.S. minority population, currently 30%, is expected to exceed 50%. Not other advanced populous country will see such diversity. Most of Americans' net population growth will be among its minorities, as well as in a growing mixed race population. Latino and Asian population are expected to nearly triple, and the children of immigrants will become more prominent. Today, in the United States, 25% of the children under age 5 are Hispanic. By 2050, that percentage will be almost 40%. This change in our demographic has implications in our obesity prevention programming. Learning to work with people from different cultures is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. Understanding how to effectively work with our new diverse society by designing and implementing culturally appropriate obesity prevention programming will aid in program recruitment, engagement, and retention. Learning about other cultures can be both interesting and challenging. Culture is often confused with race. However, culture is not our race. Culture is all who we are, and often we identify with more than one culture. Shared attitudes, beliefs, customs, and values make up different cultures. For example, I'm a vegetarian, therefore I belong to the culture of the vegetarians. I'm also a Latina, so I belong to the Latino culture. It might be helpful to view culture as an iceberg. On the surface level, on the tip of the iceberg, you see only a small part of an individual's culture. We see those characteristics which are visually apparent. We see color, race, age, gender, clothes, size, etc. But similar to an iceberg, the bulk of what defines us is below the surface. Our interactions with other people, our values, and of course the way that we live is what truly defines us and what cultural groups we belong to. A multicultural environment includes people from different genders, ages, races, ethnicities, economic status, sexual orientations, countries of origin, languages, nationalities, physical and mental abilities, level of education, and much more. Living in a multicultural environment gives us the opportunity to learn and interact with people from other cultures. Learning to interact with people from different cultures is called diversity. We can live or work in a multicultural environment all our lives, but if we don't interact with people, we will not live in a diverse society. Learning to effectively interact with people from other cultures is intercultural competence. An intercultural competent person is interested in learning and respecting cultural differences and always follow Dave Kerpen's Platinum Rule. Treat others as they would like to be treated and not only as you would like to be treated. In the 80s, Dr. Milton Bennett developed a model of intercultural sensitivity. Later, Dr. Hammer adapted the model in an intercultural development continuum. This continuum describes knowledge, attitudes, skills, sets, or orientations toward cultural differences, and commonalities from a monocultural mindset where your own culture is the center of your reality to intercultural mindset when you understand and accept cultural differences that exist in our everyday lives. It is important to note that as we go through this, regardless of where you might fall on the continuum, does not determine if you are a good person or a bad person, but rather gives you an information of what you can do to develop your knowledge, attitudes, and skills to progress toward more intercultural mindset. The first two orientations in the continuum are denial and polarization. Both are part of the monocultural mindset, where your culture is the center of your reality. Denial of cultural differences is normally an orientation of people who has had limited exposure of different cultures. People in denial ignore cultural differences. They treat people the same way because people are people. People in denial might comment something like, "My country is not very diverse, and I don't need to change anything." Or, "I don't have to adapt my programs." Polarization is an orientation where people see the world as us and them, sometimes thinking that your culture is superior, but sometimes thinking that the other culture is superior. People in polarization might comment something like, "If you live in the United States, you need to learn the way that we do things." Or something like, "We're never going to be like them." The other way can be, "Their culture is much better than ours." Minimization is the next orientation, and it is considered a transition stage between the monocultural and the intercultural mindset. When you are in this orientation, you start looking for similarities among different cultures, things that we do the same. This orientation might be the one that immigrants take when they move to another country in an effort to go along to get along. They don't want to see cultural differences. People in minimization might comment something like, "We really don't need to make big changes. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing." Or something like, "I treat everybody the same, with respect but equal." When people move from minimization to acceptance, they are transitional to the intercultural mindset. Now, their culture is not longer the center of their reality. They recognize the presence and importance of learning and respecting cultural differences. People in acceptance want to learn about cultural difference. They normally show sincere interest in people from other cultures. Try to respect the value that other cultures, even when sometimes they struggle, that is not easy. People in acceptance bring to the table people from different cultures. They feel welcome and understood. When you are in acceptance, you might make comments like, "I have to learn more about this group. I really would like to adapt my programs to their needs." Or, "I hope people from different cultures show up to my demonstrations. I place announcements all over the city and I talk with the community leaders." Adaptation is the last orientation of the continuum. Now, people not only recognize cultural differences, but change their behavior in culturally appropriate ways. People from different cultures feel value and involved in the community. People in adaptation might always think about how they can adapt their programming to the new demographic of the United States and how they can build trust in the communities they work in. When you are in adaptation, you might make comments like, I'm empathetic and I understand your point of view. We will adapt our programs. I don't have any problem leading a discussion when people from different cultures are involved. We are fortunate to live in a country where we have the opportunity to interact with people from different cultures every day. When we go for a walk in our neighborhood, go to the bank, eat in a restaurant, attend the church service, attend a PTA meeting in the school, or implement programs in communities. We need to take advantage of this incredible opportunity. Be proactive, engage your community, learn about cultural differences, and do not be afraid to ask. Asking is the first step to understanding. Becoming intercultural competent is a lifelong journey. Start today. Thank you. Gracias.